Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News. This, of course, voting ongoing in parts of River State as the state is going about the local government elections. Of course, we have more updates in our bulletins. Of course, we begin with the situation in River State on the D-Day of the local government elections. Suspected political thugs launch early morning attack, vandalize APC secretariat in Port Harcourt. The party leadership says the attack is connected to the APC's persistent call for the suspension of the local government election. Meanwhile, the streets are calm. So far, security agencies are not enforcing the restriction of movement announced by Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Recall that the police has said it will not be participating or providing security for the election based on a federal high court's judgment. Well, just after the planned local government election, the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress have reaffirmed their decision to boycott today's poll in the state. This is just as Governor Sim Fubara is insisting the election will hold as scheduled. He told newsmen he foiled an attempt by the police to seal up the premises of the State Independent Electoral Commission. We have details in this report.
Defend the rule of law by ensuring that election does not hold. That's the message from the PDP to the people of Rivers State. The APC says the police were deployed to the RISEC office to enforce the Federal High Court judgment, and so Governor Siminalayi Fubara had no right to confront them.
We also call on our members and indeed the law-abiding residents of Rivers State to defend the rule of law by ensuring full compliance with the latest judgment of the Federal High Court. 4. Nobody should participate or allow the conduct of any local government elections in defiance of the judgment of the Federal High Court.
We are moved that even after the receipt of the judgment, Governor Siminalayi Fubara broke into the gates of RISEC and chased away police officers deployed in RISEC to ensure compliance of the judgment. We will not bother with the irresponsible comments of the governor and abuses on the Inspector General of Police. But we care. What we care is that the governor has substituted rule of law with rule of jungle.
Both parties raised alarm over what they call security implications of holding the election.
We also commend the Nigerian police for standing up to the rule of law and ensuring the strict enforcement of the Federal High Court judgment, being the latest on the Rivers State local government elections. 7. We want to caution that any attempt to announce any result whatsoever will be an invitation to violence and will be properly resisted, as no election will hold in the Rivers State on the 5th of October 2024 as ordered by the courts.
Based on the subsisting court judgment from the Federal Court in Nigeria, we are not participating in the kangaroo local government election, which is slated for Saturday.
Both parties commended INEC for clearing the air with the announcement that it has not released the voter register to RISEC for the election, a claim which the State Electoral Commission denies.
Away from River State, ahead of the November 2nd, 2024 local government election in Abia State, members of the Labour Party in Aba North have protested against what they termed imposition of candidates by Governor Alex Uti. They marched to the Government House Umuahia to register their displeasure, as well as urge the party to play by the rules.
Now the current commissioner, he just appointed one lady. Does not belong to any ward. She does not belong to the party, Labour Party. Also in Aba North. Today we are talking of the governance to the grassroots, which is the local government chairman and councillors. We have come here to tell our amiable governor, Dr. Les Choma Oti, that he should please allow us to exercise our right of democracy, where we can go and vote our choice.
His Excellency and the people in charge not impose any candidate on us. This government of grassroots, we want to select or elect those who we know, because we are the one that will suffer it when the time comes. What has happened in the state in these few months or years that has gone is quite unfavorable to all the members here. A lot of grants, a lot of help, a lot of loans. So many things has happened. No palliative, nothing has ever come to Abanot.
Obviously, you know, the governor will always respond to complaints. It's part of democracy. What you are doing is part of the democratic process, and the government really appreciates you for conducting yourself in a very orderly manner.
Well, let's turn our attention to Borno State, where government has disclosed an outbreak of cholera with a staggering number of 451 cases recorded so far. This was disclosed by the State Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Baba Malam Ghana. Although the ministry is currently vaccinating those taking refuge in camps, the United Nations Children's Fund says the situation in the camps is dire, hence the need for development partners to put all hands on deck to complement efforts of government. Over 100 cholera cases have been so far recorded across the camps in Maiduguri, according to UNICEF.
You can see we have quite a number of displaced people, thousands of them, who are displaced by floods. But the most concerning situation right now is the cholera outbreak. The numbers seems to be increasing, and we are here to ensure that the spread doesn't continue. We are supporting the government of Borno State, Department of Health, who are already responding here. And we have some stabilization center, we have a clinic, so they are able to identify patients and treat them and do isolation. But most importantly, they have done cholera vaccination.
Experts in the malaria response are urging for a shift in the treatment of malaria through the use of only antihistamine-based combination therapies, which are the recommended treatments for uncomplicated malaria cases globally. They insist the use of monotherapies is prohibited by law and not the treatment or cure for the disease. TVC News' Kemi Balogun reports.
Malaria remains a major public health concern in Nigeria. It has the highest burden globally, with the risk of transmission existing throughout the country. Globally, malaria accounts for 249 million cases annually, with an estimated annual death rate of 608,000. In 2023, Nigeria recorded 27% of the global cases and 31% of all deaths. These experts at this second edition media chat organized by the National Malaria Elimination Program are highlighting that once a malaria test is positive, treatment should be only done by ACTs, as the continued use of monotherapies cause severe consequences.
Most of the countries that have eliminated malaria, they do not use medicine, but they eliminated malaria by environmental sanitation through advocacy, communication, and social mobilization.
In country, the recommended treatment for malaria is the use of ACTs, and that is artemisinin-based combination therapy. That is what we use for testing for treatment of malaria in Nigeria. And as we all know, in country, there are different parasites. When you call the Plasmodium falciparum is what we have, it's higher in the country. So that is what is more common. And ACTs are able to completely eliminate the parasites from the blood system.
They believe that with an effective case management intervention through prompt diagnosis and treatment with recommended antimalarial, a reduction of malaria burden is in sight.
The approach to malaria control is not a one-glove-fits-all. No, it's a combined approach. It's always important that we test every fever case that comes to the hospital. Okay? It's very, very important we test, just so that we're able to accurately or treat the disease, confirm it, and then treat it appropriately.
Despite the progress made in the control of malaria burden, which has moved from 42% in 2010 to 22% in 2022, more still needs to be done to ensure that Nigeria meets the target of eliminating malaria by the year 2030. Kemi Balogun, TVC News, Abuja.
President Bola Tinubu has conferred the nation's second highest national honor, the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas. In his 64th Independence Anniversary speech on October 1st, President Tinubu conferred the Commander of the Federal Republic, CFR, on the Speaker and a Deputy Senate President. The development led to a debate in the House of Representatives on Wednesday, calling on the President to confer an higher honor on the Speaker. President Tinubu was persuaded by the House of Representatives' position and has decided to remedy the historic error and oversight. The President has decided to upgrade the Speaker to GCON from CFR in accordance with the National Order of Precedence. The Speaker, the Senate President, and other principal officers of the National Assembly and the Chief Justice of Nigeria will be formally decorated with their new honors later. We'll take a quick break and return with more on the news. Stay tuned.